She'll realize who you were about 6 months after you're gone, maybe longer. It won't come as a lightning bolt. It'll be a slow, creeping awareness. She'll be with someone new and notice what's missing. She'll face a crisis and reach for a phone number that doesn't respond anymore. And here's the thing. By then, you won't care. But understanding this timeline helps you not break during the hard part. I remember the text that came 8 months after my ex walked away. It was long, detailed, full of realizations about what I'd brought to the relationship, how I'd shown up, what she'd taken for granted, how she saw things differently now. 8 months, not 8 days, not 8 weeks. 8 months of silence and then suddenly, clarity. And by the time that text arrived, I'd already moved on. I'd already done my own processing. I'd already built a life that didn't include her. So reading about her realization felt like hearing news about a stranger. This pattern isn't unique. It happens constantly. She realizes who you were long after you're gone. And the reason it takes so long is psychological and predictable. Not so you can wait for it, but so you don't break during the months when it seems like she doesn't care at all. If you want to understand breakup psychology at a deeper level, hit that subscribe button now. Let's start with the grass is greener psychology, because this explains why realization is always delayed. When relationships end, especially when she ended it, there's usually a fantasy driving the decision. The fantasy that life will be better without you, that she'll feel freer, happier, more herself, that the problems were about you, not about her or compatibility. This fantasy is intoxicating. It creates excitement, relief, a sense of possibility. She's convinced herself that ending things was right, and for a while, everything seems to confirm it. Week 1, she feels lighter. The tension is gone. The arguments have stopped. She can do what she wants without considering anyone else. This feels like freedom. Week 2, she's exploring that freedom, going out more, reconnecting with friends, doing things she felt she couldn't do in the relationship. The grass really does seem greener. Weeks 3, 4, 5, she's riding the wave of relief. If she starts seeing someone new, there's excitement and novelty. If she's staying single, there's a sense of rediscovering herself. Everything feels like validation. But here's what she doesn't realize yet. She's not comparing the relationship to reality. She's comparing it to a fantasy. And fantasies always win because they don't include the boring, difficult, messy parts of actual life. The grass looks greener because she hasn't had to mow it yet. She hasn't dealt with the weeds. She's just looking at it from a distance and seeing what she wants to see. This phase can last weeks or months, depending on how quickly reality sets in. And during this phase, she genuinely believes she made the right choice. This is why reaching out during this time falls flat. But reality always arrives. The question is just when and how. Let's talk about why realization comes in waves, not all at once. Realization isn't a single moment of clarity. It's accumulated through hundreds of small moments where the fantasy doesn't match reality, where the new situation reveals what was actually good about the old one. Wave 1 usually hits around the 3 to 4 month mark. The novelty wears off. The initial relief has faded. The excitement of freedom has normalized, and she starts noticing small things. Maybe the new person doesn't remember her coffee order. Seems small. but you always did. Maybe she has a bad day and realizes she has no one to talk to about it, the way you understood her. Maybe she sees a couple doing something you used to do together and feels unexpected sadness. These moments are brief. She might dismiss them. I'm just being nostalgic. This doesn't mean anything. But they're planting seeds. Wave 2 comes around month 5 or 6. The comparison becomes more conscious. She's had enough experience with her new reality to start evaluating it honestly. And honest evaluation means recognizing what's missing. If she's with someone new, she's starting to see their flaws clearly. The fantasy version is cracking. She's noticing ways they don't measure up to what you provided. Not because you were perfect, but because you were familiar and compatible in ways she didn't appreciate. If she's single, she's starting to feel the loneliness. The freedom she celebrated now sometimes feels empty. The independence she craved now sometimes feels isolating. Wave 3 comes later, sometimes much later. This is when something significant happens. A crisis, a milestone, a moment of real vulnerability, and she instinctively reaches for you. Not consciously at first, just that automatic thought. I need to tell him about this. And then remembering, oh, I can't. This wave is the deepest because it's not about comparison anymore. It's about genuine loss. She's facing the absence of something that mattered and realizing she can't get it back. But here's what's critical. Even at wave 3, even when she reaches out, it's not about you. It's about her processing her own choices and their consequences. Drop a comment if you've experienced this. Did your ex come back months later with sudden clarity? So what actually triggers her awareness? Let me break down the specific moments when realization tends to hit. Trigger 1. The new person disappoints her in ways you never did. Maybe they're unreliable where you were dependable. Maybe they're selfish where you were generous. These disappointments make her think, he never did this. Why didn't I appreciate that? Trigger 2. She faces something difficult and you're not there. A family crisis, a work problem, a health scare, something requiring support. And the person she instinctively wants to reach out to, you, isn't available anymore. She might reach out to others, but it's not the same. Because you knew her history. You understood the context. New people don't have that depth of knowledge. Trigger 3. She sees you thriving. Through social media, through mutual friends, through accidentally running into you. She sees that you're okay. Better than okay. You're genuinely happy. You've moved on. This shatters the story she might have told herself, that you're devastated without her, that you're waiting for her to come back. Seeing evidence that none of that is true creates cognitive dissonance. Trigger 4. She has to do something alone that you used to handle. Maybe it's practical, fixing something, navigating a complicated situation. Maybe it's emotional, attending an event without a +1. These moments highlight your presence through your absence. Trigger 5. Someone asks her why the relationship ended, and she can't give a good answer. When she has to articulate her reasons out loud, they sound hollow, petty, insufficient. And hearing herself say them makes her question the decision. Trigger 6. Time passes and she's not happier. She thought leaving would improve her life. Months go by and she's not measurably better off. She's just different. and different without improvement makes her wonder what the point was. These triggers accumulate. One alone might not do much, but 5, 6, 7 of these moments over several months, they create a growing awareness that maybe she misjudged the situation. Maybe she undervalued what she had. And that's when the realization fully lands. She had something good, and she let it go. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that bell icon. But here's what you need to understand. Her realization doesn't change anything, and it shouldn't. Even if she comes to full awareness of who you were and what you brought, even if she reaches out with genuine apology and acknowledgement, even if she's truly seen her mistake, it doesn't change the fundamental reality. She chose to leave. When the relationship was difficult, when you needed her to choose you, she didn't. She chose herself. She chose the fantasy. She chose to walk away. And that choice revealed something important about who she was in that moment. Her later realization doesn't erase that. It doesn't prove she's changed. It just proves she can see clearly now that the cost is paid and the stakes are gone. Think about it. She had full access to who you were when she left. She knew your good qualities. She knew what you brought to her life. She just didn't value it enough to stay. Now that it's gone, she values it. That's not growth. That's just loss aversion. We value things more when we lose them than when we have them. If you take her back based on her realization, you're teaching her that she can leave whenever things get hard, realize her mistake later, and you'll always be waiting. You're reinforcing a pattern that will repeat. Unless she's done serious work on herself, unless she can articulate what was broken in her that made her unable to see your value when she had it, unless she's fundamentally changed the thing that drove her decision to leave. And here's the hard truth. Most of the time, her realization isn't accompanied by that level of change. It's just regret. Regret isn't the same as transformation. So when she reaches out, if she reaches out, with her newfound clarity, your job isn't to feel validated. Your job is to assess clearly. Is this person capable of a healthy relationship now? Or are they just responding to loss aversion? More often than not, the answer is the latter. Which brings me to the most important part: focusing on your own realization journey. While she's going through her delayed process of understanding who you were, you need to be going through your own process of understanding who she was. Not the fantasy version, the real version. Because here's what happens during no contact if you do it right. You start seeing clearly too. The rose-colored glasses come off. You remember not just the good moments, but the red flags you ignored, the incompatibilities you minimized, the ways she wasn't right for you. You realize that you were building a fantasy too, the fantasy that if you just loved her enough, supported her enough, gave her enough, she'd choose you. But that's not how it works. People make choices based on who they are, not based on how perfect you are. You realize that the relationship you're mourning isn't the relationship you actually had. You're mourning the potential, the version that could have existed if she'd been different. But she wasn't different. She was exactly who she showed you. This realization is more valuable than her realization about you, because her realization doesn't help you. But your realization, seeing her clearly, seeing the relationship clearly, seeing your own patterns clearly. That transforms you. You start understanding why you chose her in the first place. Maybe you have anxious attachment, and her emotional unavailability felt familiar. Maybe you have codependent tendencies, and her need felt like purpose. You start recognizing what you actually need in a partner, not what you think you need. What you, specifically, with your values and your goals and your personality, actually need to be happy long term. You start building standards based on compatibility, not just attraction. You start recognizing green flags and red flags earlier. You start trusting your gut when something feels off. This is the real growth, not waiting for her to realize your value, but realizing your own value and what you deserve in a partnership. Let me tell you what happens at the end of this timeline. 6 months, 8 months, a year after the breakup. She's had her realization. Maybe she's even reached out. And you're in a completely different place. You're not the person she left. You've grown. You've healed. You've learned. When a realization finally comes, it lands in a void. Because you've moved on. Not because you were playing a game, but because you genuinely built a life that doesn't include her. She realizes too late who you were, and you realize just in time who she was. And those two realizations happening on different timelines is exactly why moving forward separately is the right choice. If this video helped you, smash that like button. Leave a comment telling me where you are in this timeline. And check out the next video where we talk about when you should actually reach out first. See you there.